Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? We're back for more Blood Force issue 4, getting close to the end, wrapping up the gun show fight, or the gun show and knife fight. Gun show's already out of commission. But yeah, so just before we get into it, if you enjoy the channel, if you feel like you might want to help out a little bit, go subscribe on my Patreon. Links are in the description. So yeah, this has been a long ass fight. This one was earmarked as just kind of a brawl issue, because the first 3 issues, maybe surprisingly, I'm trying to make sure that every issue has at least a fight of some kind in it, but you know, there hasn't been an all out, like, just all fight kind of issue. There still really hasn't. There's a fair few support pages in this, but this is kind of the closest thing I've got. So there's like a good, probably, I don't know, like 10 pages of fighting in this, which is kind of like, I mean, that adds up to like 3 months worth of just drawing fights, which is pretty great. I gotta admit, I don't have that much of a problem with it, but we got to get to a point where we can just do that all the time, and I can guarantee a fight page every time I go to do a live stream. So on this page, yeah, Gun Show has already been taken out of commission because, well, on the previous page, he gets his arm cut off, but I wasn't really able to do a speed art or commentary or anything for that because for some reason part of that recording, it feels like it disappeared. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I don't remember like drawing a good chunk of that thing off stream or anything, or like deleting any of the footage or anything. I'm not even sure what happened, but yeah, no, for some reason there's no footage of it feels like maybe like a third of the drawing, so there's not much point in making a video for it. But anyway, so yeah, Gun Show gets his arm cut off on the page that we're not going to see. That would be a fun page to look at. And everybody's just kind of relaxing for a moment. I think I kind of took it easy on that page after that. When all of a sudden Knife reappears, because Knife got dispatched pretty easily in this fight here. So might as well let him get at least one more leap in, which is basically all he really gets. And then Nightstick here comes in for the cavalry rescue. Not that that's really necessary. I mean, anybody could have come in for a rescue at that point, but why not get the guy from issue 3, who's kind of not really a friend at this point, but this is the thing that's supposed to solidify the friendship, I suppose, and maybe like bring him closer to being a member of the team. Because that's the plan, really, is to introduce at least one character per arc, and then hopefully eventually get the team to be completely unwieldy within, like, I don't know, 20, 30 issues. Because that's going to happen as I get to issue 30 of this thing, right? And at that point, you split up the team into Blood Force Red and Blood Force Dark Red. So I was rather pleased with myself when I came up with that. But yeah, so this is, I feel like I've done this shot before. You know what? I think I did with what's his name now? Cyberzerk in Blood Force number 2. When he gets the best of Fireburn, and he's just kind of standing over him in the crater. That's actually a very similar shot to this. I wasn't even thinking of that, and yeah, kind of drawing parallels. Interesting. Trying to focus on getting more black into the costumes, as you can see on the legs here. Kind of going for a Jim Lee, Whilce Portacio thing, because they always do that. It's not really something that comes naturally, but like deep shadows don't tend to come naturally to me unless I'm, dramatically lighting the entire figure, which really isn't the case for Nightstick here. Did manage to get a boob shelf in on him, though, and a big ol', I don't even know what you call that, where he's like, kind of, his pecs are like sitting back on his abdomen. The Liefeld special. I guess it's kind of a Jim Lee thing too, but it's yeah, super dynamic. And now we're gonna get our Battlestone-esque fencing in between Nightstick and Hawkstab. And off to the sidelines, Fireburn and Shockblock are kind of looking on like, are we fighting this guy next? Like, he's talking kind of mean. It's like, no, I think this is like a secret handshake kind of thing, basically. They got some difficulty with the pose on Hawkstab here until I decided to I don't know, just make him a little bit more assertive. Go for a bit of a slightly low angle shot on him, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense with Nightstick there. Unless he's like standing on a box or something. And some screen doors. It's always a good idea to put in some screen doors. That profile on Nightstick sucks. I gotta work on that. It's kind of a not quite a 1/4 profile, like a reverse 1/4. But that is a view I'm not very good at drawing, it feels like. Got a little bit of merit going on. And we're going to get more here of it with the slightly 1/4. And yeah, it doesn't look good on Shock Block either. And I'm quite sure that the Fireburn one also going to be bad. Let's take a look. Yeah. Well, it's not great anyway. I feel like that. Oh, I'm going to keep adding to it and make it worse. Yeah, it's not the worst looking thing, I guess. Like, I kind of look at this page as a little bit throwaway. Although I do like how Nightstick's maintaining his thrusting out the pecs flex here, or stance, whatever, while he's talking to Hawkstab and they're doing their fencing. And then Fireburn and Shock Block are just off to the side, like, gossiping, essentially. I forget what I was going with that. Oh, yeah, it being kind of a throwaway page. But really, there's not too many problems with too many of the drawings, except for these profile shots. It's just something I need to work on a bit more. There's always something that needs to be worked on. And didn't worry too much about doing backgrounds in these, the three smaller panels on the side here, because these are mostly going to be dialogue panels. Get that hair swooping around. That's part of the fencing. Is your hair swoopier than mine? Oh shit, you might be winning. Can't have that. And I like the posture of Nightstick here, with kind of turning away from Hawkstab, but looking back, with I don't know, it's like an asserting dominance kind of thing. It feels like you're not quite good enough for my time. Like, you're good enough for a little bit of my time. And making sure to make each pec larger than his head by a fair margin. See, that's okay. My problem is always drawing heads too big. So whenever one's a little bit too small, it's like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And one last reverse 3/4 or reverse 1/4 view in profile here. I think this one looks a little bit better. It helps with all the black here in the costume. Oh, and all the hatching helps to distract it. Yeah, no, that looks fine. I actually turned the head like all the way away too. All right. So, okay, this shot here, this is the big end of the fight shot. So I decided to throw in some backgrounds to kind of just slow things down. Let it feel a bit more like an impressive shot kind of thing. We're getting a little bit of those strobe effects here with the nukes as my camera tries to adjust to changes in lighting. So I hope that's not a problem. I don't think it would be. I don't know. I don't like it. But it's funny because this background has not been present basically for the whole fight. The fight took place, in a backgroundless cave for the most part. It's like, oh, right, we're in a lobby. Why not? I think I fucked up this, I don't know, like this scaffolding looking structure here, whatever's going on the wall, because I think that should have tried to frame Nightstick a bit more. Wasn't thinking about it at the time, unfortunately. Although, noticing it now, maybe next time I'll remember. And, okay, so this is the hit on Knife, which I'm not super happy with. Again, part because I'm drawing in profile. I'm just not great at that. Definitely got to work on that. I think there's I had like a formula after this that I haven't been able to actually use on a page yet, and which I am now pretty sure I've forgotten before I ever got to use it. I'm not too happy about that. all the black here, I think, is unnecessary. I think I should have gone more for speed lines or just a big, like, even just like a big kablam kind of jagged panel edge. That would have worked better, I think. That's like the one drawing on this I'm really not very happy with. And this is a repeat of an effect I used earlier for throwing the stick. With a few, a little bit of speed lines, but you don't want to do too much because you want those circles in the middle to come through. And I think we're just about done. Are we just about done? Oh. Always more time for whiteout. There we go. All right, so yeah, that's page 20. Shit, I said 19 right at the beginning. I guess I was wrong. I think that's an okay page. Really, I mean, with all the dialogue that gets in there eventually, I think that'll help to lessen the impact of these crappy profiles I'm doing. Yeah, I really do got to come up with something for that. Oh well, that's all right. All these pages where it's like, it's not in a battle, it's before or after a battle or that kind of thing. They're always a little bit tough because it's like, all right, we had all sorts of energy and now we're going to slow things way down and just stand around and talk. And how many angles can I draw of people talking and still kind of try to make it a little bit interesting to draw? I think I mostly managed that here. Anyway, it's a fine page and good for getting mostly out of this particular fight. There's one more page coming up because that fencing goes on for a while. You know how it goes. But anyway, that's going to do it for this one. So thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications so you know when the next one's coming out. Go over and subscribe on my Patreon. Gives you early access to everything I do, from the Blood Force stuff to the YouTube videos before you get uploaded to YouTube. Sure, why not? As well as some Patreon exclusive content. You can also follow me on Instagram and DM me there for commissions, and you can join the Blood Force Discord server. See, now I just keep going back and thinking about, before you get uploaded to YouTube. YouTube's going to get you. Just to let you know. They're planning things. But anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.